Hello, my name is Unia and this is my very first video for YouTube. I am doing a video of Heroes of Might and Magic 6. This is the beta version, so all the footage shown in this video is not representative of the late version of this game, or the version that will come out officially. Heroes of Might and Magic is a turn-based game. Basically, you control several heroes. You have spaces in which you manage all sorts of things. We can start by showing you the base interface. We can see a little presentation of the city. This is a bit different from the old, well, every Heroes of Might and Magic used to show you their base, but this one is just a bit more cinematic and you can't really click on each structures and see what kind of structure is doing. It's just graphical representation. We don't really know if this is going to be like that in the final version of the game, but so far it's not really needed anyway because we have these labels down here, these tabs down here, sorry, and we can use them as just previously instead of clicking the buildings. So this one here, right here, is your building construction interface. You have your sort of like capital structure here, and all these are upgradable in your city. Each building will unlock different types of units, others will unlock bonuses. You have marketplaces for trading resources. Here's Might and Magic. In previous games there used to be a bit more resources. They kind of narrowed down for 3 resources in Heroes of Might and Magic 6. We have wood, stone, and crystal, and gold. So, pretty straightforward. Wood and stone and crystal are used to make either several creatures or several structures that require them. They have requisitions for each resource. For instance, the barracks here requires 4 stone and 1000 gold to construct. This is pretty much straightforward for any RTS player. You'll get right into it. It's just previous games they used to have more than just crystals, but they have other source systems like gems. But this time they just put everything in crystals, which is okay. I mean, it's not gonna take any sort of complexity to the game. I didn't play Heroes of Might and Magic 5 and 4 that much. It was basically not really a fan of them. I really prefer Heroes of Might and Magic 3. And from what I've seen of Heroes of Might and Magic 6, it seems to go back into the old roots of Heroes of Might and Magic, so it's really cool. As you can see, the game looks very beautiful. It has really clean, really good textures, and animations are really good, as you'll see future in a combat scene, which I'll be showing you later. So this is your hero sort of character, and he has levels. Well, he has a level system and he has an army of his own. Here you can see the hero tab that shows you all the characteristics of the heroes. This is a graphical presentation of him. This is the attributes. He's a might hero, so might attributes will be the most important for him. He basically, these are, well, sorry, I was showing you here, but the hero stats are here. You have all the old stats: might power, the might defense, this is might of the sun base, power, might defense. It's something I haven't read yet, but I'll read it later. This is leadership, luck, all sorts of stats are here. You can always equip items as you could before. And here's your army. So here's Might and Magic. Each hero controls a set number of army. You can have all sorts of unit types in your army. Usually you want to keep with the same faction so they don't lose bonuses, because if you have a lot of different units in each faction, well, I'm not going to explain that right now because it's kind of like going to the complexity of the game. That's not really necessary right now. So each units have special abilities. They have all their sort of uniqueness. The Sentinel is sort of like your basic melee hero, and the Crossbowman is your human ranged hero. Here you can see your dynasty weapons. It's some sort of new thing they're going for. You have the dynasty traits, which is each time you start a map, a campaign map, you'll start with some set number of bonuses. And dynasty weapons, if I understand correctly, is what you a set number of items that you start in each mission automatically with them. Because before, in each Heroes of Might and Magic, you would start with you would get items during the campaign, but once you start a new one, you would lose them all and you had to pick up everything from the start. On Heroes of Might and Magic 6, apparently you'll have your dynasty weapon and Arma, which is basically you carry over to your next campaign. That's a nice touch for customization on your characters. Here is the skill tab. There's all sorts of skills, your Paragon, your Realm, Tactics, War Cries, and Warfare. All of these affect either your campaign experience or your combat experience. So for instance, here in Realm you'll have architecture, which affects production of creatures in your cities, or the economy, which basically gives you more resources per turn, or resources you collect. And if you go into tactics, it has, for example, Siege Master, which is good for when you're attacking other cities. You have the War Cries, which is basically aura buffs, which affect your units. It affects your units in case you're playing humans, because they don't have many debuffs as if you play the human faction. They have a lot of auras that affect their friendly units. And it pretty much works like the old games. You start with the level 1 auras, which affect a single unit, and then you start by getting mass auras, or war cries, as you call them, which will affect multiple units in your army. Here you have some other attributes, which probably affect it's a passive abilities. So these are passive during the combat, you don't need to cast them. So this is for Might. You'll have another tab for Magic, which doesn't mean your Might heroes can't use them, it's just they're probably more keen to use Might abilities. And you have your faction abilities, so your Heroic Strike, this is the ability I choose on when I created my hero, this ability. Repetition abilities, faction abilities, so this is all pretty straightforward. So onto the game itself. So Heroes of Might and Magic, the thing I didn't like about Heroes of Might and Magic 5 too much was that it felt a bit linear. The map was really narrowed down to, like, paths were really, like, you usually had really few number of paths you could take in the game, and I didn't like the whole aesthetic thing about it. The game, you might debate it, you might like it, I mean this is sort of like a taste thing. I just didn't like the aesthetics of it. I really like how Heroes of Might and Magic 6 looks like though. The quality of the graphics and the animations, they're really well done. So each turn you'll have a set number of movements you can do with your hero. So as you can see, I can move, and each movement will cost me a set number of movements per turn. So if I probably go, well, it seems like I can go everywhere this turn, but you'll notice that at some point I will not be able to move. The map has a lot of scattered bonuses all over the place. You'll have items, you'll have treasures, and you'll have creatures, which are which usually are defining either one of those resources or structures in the game. And apart from that, you'll also have your other enemy AI, which is also controlling a base, and their set hero. You can have multiple heroes, it's just you start with one at the beginning. You usually want to make a main hero, which is the hero that will basically have the most part of your army, and he should be having the best items and best. But that's another talk. Right now we're talking about the game. So if you right-click the creatures, you can see basically what type of creature, the amount they have, the threat they pose to you, and their aggressiveness. So they're neutral to me. So they don't really have any effect on. They don't really hate my race. They don't really like my race. They're just neutral to it, as it says. Well, if you go here to, actually they are neutral. So apparently every starting unit here is neutral. So, well, let's start by going to the observatory. The observatory is a structure that you can capture and it will reveal the surroundings of your territory. So here we go. Here it is. Map revealed. I'm going to jump into the city and I'm going to build my first structure. Usually I like to start by constructing the heroes hall, which means can be more heroes. And the thing is, I like to have this is typical old Heroes of Might and Magic strategy. I don't know if it works exactly as it should in Heroes of Might and Magic 6, but usually you would call a support hero, which basically is the guy who's going to pick up all the stuff, while your other hero is basically just fighting stuff and gaining experience. So difference from the old other Heroes of Might and Magic, the Heroes of Might and Magic 6 allows you to recruit any hero apparently. I don't know if this is going to be in the final version. Again, this is beta, so a lot of these things can change. But at this point you can basically call any hero you want to your team. I'm gonna go around, actually let me just check what type of units this is my hero had. So he has Crosswoman and the Sentinel. So I'm probably gonna call something, let's see, 9 Sentinels. Well, I guess. Yeah, this one seems to be more balanced. Okay. So here we go. Recruit